Hi, welcome back to Just an Everyday Fan. So, if y'all haven't heard, and if you probably haven't heard, you're probably under a rock, but Chloe Bibby was signed by the Indiana Fever for the rest of season contract. Now, I was hoping and praying that this was going to happen because I believe that Chloe Bibby proved herself on her 7-day contract, and we need that player. Right? And Chloe Bibby came in and she filled that role. She did exactly what she was supposed to do. So congratulations to Chloe. Now, they signed her for the rest of the season. She picked up a $66,000 contract, and that is fairly good considering Dwana Bonner was at $200,000, and she went pretty low for the Mercury for half of a season. So I think Chloe did good. I think she's going to be a great addition to the team. I like seeing her on the floor. I like seeing her on the bench. She's always smiling. She just seems like such a positive person, and she brings game. So congratulations, Chloe. So if y'all haven't heard, Sophie Cunningham is co-hosting a podcast show. It's called Show Me Something, and I think the first episode aired yesterday, and evidently it's already gone viral. But on the first episode, and she hosts it with Wes Wilson. On the first episode, she talked about Caitlyn Clark. She talked about being on the Phoenix Mercury, and she also talked about the instructions that they received when Caitlyn Clark came into the W and all other rookies came into the W, to target them, to initiate them, to put the fear of God in them so they wouldn't take those shots. They would hesitate. They would think twice about whatever. So this indoctrination, this initiation, what are we, a sorority? A fraternity? Hazing? Are you serious? Other teams are specifically told to target. Now, Sophie goes on to say that the second year, she didn't realize this until she came down and she became a part of the Indiana Fever, that this targeting of Caitlyn Clark was real. And it was continuing, and it was not just an initiation. It was not just a first-year initiation. That this was continuing, and it was getting more and more and more and more dangerous for Caitlyn, and more dangerous for Caitlyn. And as we all know, Sophie took up for Caitlyn. She is known now as Caitlyn's enforcer. She said that it was crazy, the amount of stuff that happened after she did that. And it was something that she wasn't even thinking about. She wasn't thinking about getting views or fans or subs or sponsors or anything like that. She was just doing what she thought needed to be done for Caitlyn. Now, she had roughly $250,000, she said, on her social media accounts after she did that and took out that player that had fouled Caitlyn hard. Basically, her social media tripled. All social media accounts tripled overnight. So she had over 1 million on every single platform that she was on. And she said it was just ridiculous. So congratulations to Sophie for co-hosting a new podcast. We look forward to what you have to say. Now, if y'all don't know, this is August 1st, and we are on the road to, this last leg leading up to the playoffs. So things are getting serious. Very serious. Teams are making moves. Now, the Indiana Fever signed Chloe Bibby. We know that. But are there going to be trades that they're working on behind the scenes? That we don't know. I hope yes. I think Turner needs to go. She's not contributing to the team. And we're paying her $85,000 to warm a bench. If you need to, keep Dantas, because at least when she goes in on a clutch, she can produce. I don't know. Big question mark with Sydney Colson. Big question mark there. Now, we know the other day during high game stakes, Mitchell was shut down completely. Like, she didn't even go into double digits. They shut her down on every aspect of her play. Well, welcome Kelsey Mitchell to what Caitlyn Clark goes through every single time she steps out onto the court. She's targeted, but she's targeted to be hurt. But step into Caitlyn's shoes, be the next Caitlyn Clark, and you're going to find out things change very quickly. You're targeted, you're stopped, you're stuffed, everything, you're double teamed, and everything gets just a little harder. So I think maybe Kelsey's eyes were opened a little bit on that one. If not, they should have been. Grab your popcorn, guys, tonight. 5 games. We have 5 games tonight in the W. So the Mercury are playing Atlanta at 6:30. Now these are Central Time, so check your listings. New York Liberty at Connecticut, the Valkyries at Chicago, Fever at Dallas, LA Sparks at Seattle at 9 o'clock. So the first 4 games that I gave you, so the Mercury at Atlanta, the New York at Connecticut, Valkyries at Chicago, Fever at Dallas, those are all coming on at 6:30. And then the Sparks game versus Seattle is 9 o'clock. I wish, please listen, y'all want more viewership. WNBA, if you want more viewership, you have got to spread these games. They can't all be like this. It's just impossible. You know, when you have something like this, the time just needs to be spread out on a calendar. So instead of the season ending in the middle of September, push it out to November. Let these girls get practice time. Let these girls get rest time. Let these girls get travel time in. With other teams coming on, this cannot continue to happen. You have got to spread this out. I think that the training camp should be longer than 2 weeks. 2 weeks is nothing to shake off the dust. You know, some of these girls go to other leagues and play, some don't. So you have literally a week and a half, 2 weeks to try to gel a team. If you're a team like New York, if you're a team like the Lynx, that's fine. Nothing changed. You had no coaching changes, no front office changes, you had no player changes, or if there were player changes, they were lower level bench players, so they weren't really impacting your starting players and your main backups. So the team was already used to one another. Nothing had to be done. They could just continue from the year before. So it was an easy transition. But some of these teams that are just all brand new players, like the Valkyries, like Washington, like they had to get things together very quickly. And I think that Washington has done a great job. I think the Valkyries have done a great job. But Washington has a lot of heart. Kiki Arifin, all of the rookies, Citron, Sykes, everybody shows up on that team. They play hard. They had a absolutely devastating loss of 1 point their last game. I mean, but that's what they do. It goes down to the wire almost every single game. They play ball. It hasn't always fallen in their favor, but they are playing basketball. and they're doing it quietly. There's not a lot of drama on that team, and I like that. There's drama on the Indiana Fever. I don't like that. I want to turn the TV on and I want to see basketball. I don't want to see drama. I don't want to see fans throwing things on the court. I don't want to see fans being ejected. I don't want to see players yelling at fans. I don't want to see any of that. I want to see basketball. As always, thank you for tuning in. Please hit subscribe. That would help me out a lot. Until next time.